We have FG New America Acquisition 2. So this is going to be ticker FGNA. This is not public yet. So you will get a third of a warrant. They're targeting FinTech or InsurTech. This is Joseph Moglia, who's the former CEO of TD Ameritrade. So his first SPAC, FGNA, just landed a deal for OppFi, a fintech company. Again, it stands out. Former CEO of TD Ameritrade, he helped really boost that company. So to me, this is one I'll be looking at. And then DMY Technology Group 4. We're going to have to talk to Niccolo De Masi this Saturday at boot camp. He's launching a fourth SPAC. So this is the same team that did DMYT, which took Rush Street Interactive public sports betting, has DMYD taking Genius Sports public for the data for sports betting, and then also has DMYI out. So this SPAC is going to target consumer-facing or supporting infrastructure of consumer applications, a $1 billion to $3 billion valued company. Shareholders are going to get a fifth of a warrant with these units. So again, it'll be ticker DMYQ. And the one I would look for here is DMYI, as that third SPAC from Niccolo De Masi's group could be close to announcing a deal. Again, that's a trend to watch, as we see these new SPACs filed to keep an eye out for. Then the other two new ones, again, that are not trading yet that I want to highlight are WPCA and WPCB. So these are both from Warburg Pincus Capital Corporation. So this is one of the largest, finance groups out there. They have not dove into launching their own SPACs yet, but here they go, launching two. So WPCA will be a $250 million, and then WPCB is going to be $500 million. So both are going to include a fifth of a warrant, no target area listed. So again, this is, $56 billion in assets under management. Warburg Pincus, they have 19 private equity funds, over $95 billion, through those funds have been done. They've invested in 900 portfolio companies over the years, so again, this is a company that knows how to find private companies, how to fund them, how to take them public down the road. So that's something I'll be looking at. Again, they have not done their own SPACs, but they know what they're doing, when it comes to that. And then I want to touch on a couple that are trading as units right now. So these are ones that you can, invest in today. Again, depends on your broker, as these are, units, not common shares, not warrants available yet. These are the ones that catch my eye, and I'll bring you some ones that recently traded as common, on an upcoming show, as I know some of you would rather hear about commons versus units and warrants. So up first, we have BITE. This is Byte Acquisition Corp. So they're targeting a restaurant group in North America. This SPAC is led by Julia Stewart. She's the former CEO of IHOP and the former CEO of Dine Brands Global, which owns IHOP and Applebee's. So lots of experience in the restaurant industry. And the thing that we saw was, there was rumors when FST came out and it was targeting a restaurant group that, could it be, one of these emerging fast casual brands? But instead, it ended up being the Fertitta Restaurant Group, which is casual dining, and may not have as much of a growth potential going forward. So there are lots of private, fast casual, fast growing restaurant groups out there. And I think Byte may be able to land one of those deals. And the next two, I talked about them on a different show, but have to highlight them now, talking about new SPACs. So CCVI and CVII. These are both SPACs from the Churchill Capital Group led by Michael Klein. So of course, in the news, CCIV is, continuing to rocket higher. And, it looks like that Lucid Motors deal is fast approaching, and it's going to get done. And, the risk here is if it doesn't get done, obviously those shares fall. And, Michael Klein may go out of favor for a while for not being able to land this deal. But if that deal goes through, are people going to keep their money in that SPAC, or are they going to look for new ones? Are they going to see that Michael Klein just landed, one of the biggest publicized and most about SPACs of the year, and he has two new SPACs. So maybe it's worth going to CCVI and CVII, which again trade as units. So you're going to get the warrant options there as well. So keep an eye out on both of those, as I think, they have potential. And those are two that I'm looking to actively add at this time. Then we have FSRX. FSRX. This is FinServ Acquisition Corp 2. So this is led by Lee Einbinder. He's the former vice chair of Barclays. And then Michael Vaughn, the former COO of Venmo, targeting FinTech. And again, I can't say enough about FinTech and how there's so many great companies out there, and that is a hot market. What we're seeing with FinTech now is, a lot of times those deals, we get the run up on the rumor and then they end up selling off on that first day. So FinTech is not as high growth as some of these electric vehicle plays in investors' eyes, but definitely one that I am watching here. And then we have SCLE. This is broad scale acquisition. This one is targeting ESG, sustainability, energy transition. Great management team. Betsy Cohen, former CEO of Bancorp, and she was also the director of several other SPACs under different names. You have Andrew Shapiro, who is the founder of Broadscale. He also was a former director for Blink Charging. So he knows that charging infrastructure and that EV space. So keep an eye out on that one. So those are the new SPACs I see, Mitch, that, again, some aren't currently trading, some trade as units. And again, there's so many more to cover. Who would have thought, 51 new SPACs filed in the last 3 days and, 28 on Friday alone. I haven't even been able to go through all of those and keep track of them.